Welcome to Report Steelers. Here you will find the latest news and rumors about the Pittsburgh Steelers, always up to date with information about transfers, drafts, injuries, behind-the-scenes news and everything involving the team. If you are a passionate fan and want to stay up to date with everything, this is the right place. Turn on notifications and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news. Now, let's get to today's news. Former NFL scout sees rising star. Jaylen Milro has the most potential of anyone in this draft. Former NFL scout and current lead analyst for NFL Network, Daniel Jeremiah didn't mince words when commenting on Milro's potential. In a recent conference call, Jeremiah called him the quarterback with the highest ceiling of any player eligible for the 2025 draft, including names already tipped for the top of the first round such as Miami's Cam Ward. In talking to a lot of teams around the league, the phrase most associated with Jaylen Milro's name is lottery ticket. Jeremiah explained, "If you want to take a chance on a talent who can turn into a big-time pick, Milro has the most potential in this draft. Yes, even more than Cam Ward, who is projected to be the first overall pick. That view, however, doesn't mean Milro is a talent ready to take over as a starter right away. Jeremiah believes he still needs time to develop, and so he sees the quarterback as a typical second-round pick with first-round potential. It's like you pick first and get a huge bonus. It's exciting. It's a high-risk, high-reward gamble." At just 22 years old, Jaylen Milro is considered one of the most intriguing prospects in this class. With an impressive athletic physique, unusual speed for a quarterback, estimated 4.4 seconds in the 40-yard dash, and solid numbers over the last 2 seasons, he has been attracting attention from coaches and executives around the league. He has thrown for 5,678 yards, 39 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions, in addition to an incredible 1,257 rushing yards and 32 touchdowns rushing the ball. These numbers reinforce what many already see. Milro is a modern quarterback with dual skills, throwing and running, that resembles in some ways the rise of Lamar Jackson. Cleveland Browns general manager Andrew Berry was even bolder in his assessment. Physically, he may be the only quarterback we've ever seen faster than Lamar Jackson. Another person who was impressed with the young quarterback was former wide receiver and NBC commentator Chris Collinsworth. In a recent interview with Pro Football Focus, Collinsworth said he saw Milro as having a similar profile to Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. "The more I watched Milro, the more I saw that he can throw well enough. And when he runs, my God, he's spectacular. He can be that guy that makes 1, 2, 3 special plays a game that keeps the offense alive." Collinsworth also stated that, even with a veteran like Aaron Rodgers on the roster, it would be smart for the Steelers to bet on Milro as the future of the franchise. "Let him learn from Rodgers. By the end of the season, Mike Tomlin may very well know if Milro is the right guy to lead Pittsburgh in the future." Steelers consider trade with Titans and may bet on Will Levis for 2025. The possibility of the Pittsburgh Steelers making a strategic move involving quarterback Will Levis has been gaining traction behind the scenes in the NFL. The proposal, suggested by Christopher Knox of Bleacher Report, points to a trade that could directly impact the future of the Pennsylvania team's most important position. Knox proposed a scenario in which the Steelers would give up a 2025 fourth-round pick, number 123 overall, to the Tennessee Titans in exchange for Will Levis and a fifth-round pick, number 167. The idea is not only to add depth to the position, but also to create room for Levis to compete for a starting spot in Pittsburgh, something he has done before, including against Mason Rudolph when they were still on the Titans roster in 2024. Knox argues that if promising names like Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart have already been drafted by the time Pittsburgh is on the clock, Will Levis could emerge as a viable and relatively inexpensive alternative. Despite not shining in 2024, Levis has some interesting qualities, such as a strong arm and enough mobility to escape pressure, which could be well used by offensive coordinator Arthur Smith. In 2024, Will Levis played in 12 games, throwing for 2,091 yards, with 13 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. He averaged 6.9 yards per attempt, in addition to adding 183 rushing yards, with an average of 4.1 yards per rush. These numbers, while not spectacular, demonstrate some potential, especially considering the Titans' poor overall performance, which ended the season with a disappointing 3-14 record. If he were to play in Pittsburgh, Levis would have a much more talented group of receivers at his disposal, led by George Pickens and DK Metcalf. With these offensive weapons, it would be plausible to imagine an improvement in the quarterback's statistics, especially in terms of average yards per pass and efficiency in the passing game. Despite this, Steelers fans might not welcome the news of a trade for Levis. After all, he has an unfavorable record, with only 5 wins in 21 games as a starter in the NFL. Furthermore, if the trade were to occur after Aaron Rodgers refused, the perception would be that Pittsburgh would be resorting to a less attractive alternative, almost for lack of options. General Manager Omar Khan has a big challenge on his hands. With only Mason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson under contract, the Steelers' quarterback group lacks depth and potential. In this scenario, Levis emerges as a younger option with more room for growth than other veterans on the market, such as Rodgers himself or Russell Wilson. The move, if completed, would represent a calculated risk. Pittsburgh would not commit high draft picks while maintaining a reasonable chance of finding its quarterback of the future. On the other hand, if Levis and Rudolph fail again, the team would find itself in a position similar to that of the Tennessee Titans, forced to look for a permanent solution in the 2026 draft, probably with one of the first picks